Hey there, and welcome to the latest episode of the Mind Body Health Podcast. My name is Dave Sheahan. I'm a high performance consultant, and I'm here on these episodes to do everything I can to educate you, motivate you, inspire you, and regain control of the mind body health area of your life. Because no matter who you are, if you've controlled the mind body health area of your life, you will have a positive impact on every other area of your life. Having controlled mind, body, and health is the catalyst for success in every other area of your life. And that's fact. And you'll experience it. And my clients have always experienced it. And I've experienced it. And I've told some of these strategies have experienced it. And the purpose of the Mind Body Health Podcast is to share with you the tips, the information, the truth about how we can get your brain working optimally, how we can get your body working optimally, how we can live optimally, how we can experience fun, vibrant, fulfilling, successful, and most importantly, happy life, how we can experience longevity. Did you know we're designed to live until about 130 years of age, and even recent studies are looking at maybe towards 200? This is our potential. Why aren't we doing it? How can we improve this? And again, about quality of life. It's not about the duration of life, the quantity, it's the quality. There's no point being 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. You don't have independence. You can't do what you want. You can't fend for yourself. I'm talking about getting you to a stage where you can do whatever the hell you want, no matter what age you are. And this is what's possible, but against the mind-body connection, mind-body health. So, myself and some of the greatest, most inspirational minds and people in the world will be sharing with you on these episodes some incredible strategies from their own experience, from their own learnings, from their own clients. And I hope this will help you in every way possible. So today, what I want to speak to you about is about the brain. Our mind is a control tower, and we need to get zoned in on that, how the mind is literally the control tower. And the way your brain functions has a massive impact on every single area of your life. Now, in each episode, I'll be covering particular topics. I'll be answering certain questions from our listeners and our followers who send them in to me. So feel free to send in your questions, your comments, your feedback, your opinions anytime on any of the platforms, and I will always give it a certain amount of airtime. Also, it'd be great if you can give reviews and feedback to the podcast on the various platforms too. That'd be fantastic. So let's see. The brain, how do we get it to work? Well, look, the reality is most people barely use a couple of percent of the potential of their brain. And that's if they're functioning optimally. Some of the brightest, most tuned in people in the world, it has been said, use maybe about 10% of their brain. It's the highest I've heard of. So that just shows the kind of potential we have. When you look at the amazing things that people have achieved in a history of time and things they've done, they've created, they've caused, they've brought about with that kind of minimal use of the brain, can you just imagine if we really got control of our mind and got control of our brain and really started to operate optimally, what we could possibly achieve, what we could possibly believe and perceive? It'd be pretty incredible, So wherever you are, whatever way your brain functions right now, I bet you think your brain functions just fine and dandy. I bet you think, your brain functions optimally. You think your brain works great. You've got good concentration, focus, memory, all that. You feel like it's good. Well, I've got news for you. I can guarantee you, if you're like 99.9% of the population, you are not even close to functionally optimally in terms of your brain function. Now, the bad news is that means that up to this point, you haven't achieved everything that you could have. You've only tipped the iceberg. The good news is, the huge positive news is that if you make a few little changes, and I mean little changes, subtle changes, like I get my clients to do, things will change dramatically, and they will change fast, because it doesn't take a lot to completely transform people's lives, because so many people are doing so many of the wrong things. And when it comes to the brain and your mind and how it functions, there's subtle little changes, tiny little changes that seem insignificant to you, and you have no idea the negative impact they're having on your life and your brain. That when you flip that switch and change them, the impact is unbelievable. Like, did you know your brain is 83% water? Did you know that? And the most important thing is it doesn't retain water. Like, your body is 75% water, but it has a retention ability. But your brain has no retention ability, yet it's 83% water. Now, what does that tell us? What that tells us is that our brain needs to be hydrated to function optimally. Okay. And it can only function optimally if it's adequately hydrated, which means you as a whole must be adequately hydrated. Now, to have your body adequately hydrated, you need to have a minimum of 4 liters of water, and that's good quality water, ideally, up to even 6. If you can get 6, it's fantastic. That's what I aim to have and have done for a number of years now. So what are you having? If, again, you're like the average person, you're probably having 500 milliliters to maybe a liter a day. That's a long way off 4 liters, long way off 6 liters. Now, if you compare someone on 6 to someone on 500 milliliters, the difference in their brain function is enormous. And that's only one point. There's many more points to come. Because again, remember, your brain is 83% water, and hydration level will really only start when you're consuming around 4 liters of water. So that's one point. Now, the other point is how many soft drinks are you consuming a day? How much coffee are you consuming a day? How many tea are you consuming a day? How much alcohol are you consuming a day? Why do I ask that? I ask you that because they're all diuretics. They all dehydrate you. So let's say you take in even 1 liter of water a day. Well, if like a lot of people, coffee is your crutch, coffee is what gets you through the day. It's the first thing you do. It's one of the last things you do, and you do it throughout the day. Anything from 2 cups to 5 cups to 10 cups a day. I've heard even someone having 15 cups a day. That's constant dehydration. Same with tea, same if you have alcohol. Like a hangover is just pure dehydration. That's why, like I say to people, it's a bit off topic, but while I'm on it, if you drink water while you're drinking alcohol, you cannot get a hangover. I'll repeat that. If you drink water while you're drinking alcohol, you cannot get a hangover. Try it. I can guarantee you 100% it will work. Anyone who does this, when I tell them, it works. Anyone who doesn't do it, they keep having their hangovers. It's as simple as that, because that's all it is hangover, is dehydration. Okay? So all those things you're consuming. So even if someone's consuming 1 liter of water a day, if in the evening they have a glass of wine or a beer or something like that just to chill out because they feel they deserve it, they have 3, 4, 5 cups of coffee a day, they're most likely at a 0 hydration level, or most likely negative. Now that's people who drink a liter a day. I see the majority of people right now drink even half a liter, maybe a cup. Some drink 0. Now you might say, I don't feel thirsty. Well, it's not about feeling thirsty. All that means is your body has settled and basically accepted where you're at right now. Like if I had 5 liters of water in a day, I'd be very thirsty. Why is that? Because my body's got used to 6 liters. It expects it, it needs it, and that's how it functions optimally. You with your 500 milliliters are just at that level. Your body is an amazing adaptive unit. It will get used to anything. It gets used to anything, whether it's good or bad. That's why people can do the craziest diets. They can do the craziest, plans. They can really punish and hurt their bodies in many ways that'll hurt them long term, but the body will adjust to it. Like a lot of these diets out there, like keto, paleo, all these things. It's why for a couple of weeks it's horrendous, but then the body really adjusts to it. It's the same way if I could make you have an apple a day at 1 p.m. For two weeks, it'll be hell. You'll be starving, but eventually the body will settle. And about 5 to 1 every day, you'll get hungry. You'll have your apple. You're satisfied. That's it. Is that good for you? No, it's not. So just because you feel okay doesn't mean that you are okay. I've had clients and even friends before who have had horrendous diets, and they have said, feel fine, don't feel bad, feel grand. That's because, again, the body was used to it. That's the only reason it was used to it, okay? So if you're going by your thirst level and thinking, I'm not thirsty, I don't need water, that's not the right attitude. The attitude is, how much am I consuming? How much do I need? It's the same with everything: food, exercise, mindset, spirituality, if that's part of your life, sleep. All these things are super important. There's so many different aspects. It's like a big checklist, like I'm always speaking about. You need to get in adequate amounts of water. Now, am I telling you to have 4 liters of water a day right now so your brain functions optimally? No, I'm not. What I'm telling you is that needs to be your eventual goal. But wherever you are right now, start drinking more water. If you're on 500 milliliters a day, start having 1 liter a day. Do that for about a week. 2 weeks, your body will naturally adapt to that, and it will need it, and you'll feel you need it. If you've less than that, you'll feel, oh God, I'm dehydrated, better get more water. So get used to it, and over time, build up towards 4 liters. Now, if you never get to 4 liters, that's okay, because the main thing is you do better than you are now. I'm very big on focus on positive steps. Of course, there's perfection and there's optimal, and it's where we want to get to. But for many people, they'll never get to it. You just won't. But at least get as good as you can. At least go as far as you can. At least function as optimally as you can. Because the bottom line is, it's a choice. You have to take responsibility. You have to have no excuses. And this is what people do. They make excuses. They don't take responsibility. They don't think they have a choice. You have a choice with everything. It's you that's deciding how much water is going into your body. It's you that's deciding if tea, alcohol, soft drinks, or coffee go into your body. You're the one putting it in. So you need to change your habits. You need to take control and take personal responsibility. Stop blaming other people. Stop blaming other things. You are the person that's causing everything. It's as simple as that. Look in the mirror. That person looking back at you is a person who's put you where you are right now. Why you feel the way you do right now, why your life is how it is right now, why your health is how it is right now, why your body shape is how it is right now, why your brain functions the way it does right now. Okay? So what I want you to do is start consuming more water. So I hope that makes sense. And this is where, again, let us know your feedback. Let us know your questions. Let us know if you need clarification. Let us know if you even disagree sometimes of what I'm saying or guests are saying. I encourage engagement. I encourage discussion. It's the only way we can truly learn and learn from each other. Because I don't always say that I'm always right, but usually when I share something, I feel fairly certain it's right. And I've done my research, I've done my experience on myself as a guinea pig as well as clients and everything. So I share things when I know they're right, but I'm always open-minded enough that I'm open to look at the alternative too. And then I'll do what I always do. I'll critically think, I'll question, and I'll decide which I think is best. And that's what you should do too. Always question everything. As children, we question everything. Drives parents mad. They're always going, never stops asking questions. Why this? Why this? Why that? We lose that then once society, parents, school, college, work wipes it out of us, and we basically just, we turn a blind eye to things. We don't question things. We just accept them. We do, which is not a good attitude. Always be you, always be your own person, always question. I know it's a little off topic, but again, that's kind of how I roll. I might be on about something, but I might go off on a tangent. So let's get back to the brain again. So first thing I want you to do is the water. Okay, so focus on the water. Whatever you're on right now, start increasing it. It will have a huge impact on your brain function. I can guarantee you 100%. Another thing with the water is drink water first thing in the morning. You will have had 6, 8, 10, 12, maybe even 15 hours of no water. Your brain's dehydrated. You need to get water into you. So first thing in the morning, get a glass, a cup, anything up towards a liter eventually of water into your body. Like I drink a liter first thing in the morning. Again, I'm not telling you drink a liter. If you even just have a little cup that size and you haven't been having any up to this point, that's a step in the right direction. Remember, steps in the right direction. So, and build it up then over time. I can guarantee you will feel much better even just after having a glass or a cup of water first thing in the morning. And that'll give you the belief that, hey, maybe there is something to this. I feel more alert after a glass of water. What's going to happen if I drink more? And work towards 4 liters. Okay. If you get to 4 liters, then maybe work towards 5 or 6, but definitely you need 4. The other thing that's super, super important the way your brain functions is what you consume, the food you consume. Okay, whether that be food in whole form or in liquid form, like through smoothies and things. 20% of the calories you consume goes to your brain. So let's take 2 different people. One person, they live off McDonald's and fast food and processed food. 20% of that is going to their brain. That's what their brain's being fed by. It's being hydrated by water. It's being fed by that garbage, that toxic poison. Now, how do you think your brain's going to work if it's being fed by Big Macs or Haribo? Or deep fried food or anything processed, packets of cookies? How do you think it's going to operate? Do you think it's going to be optimal? Do you think your brain's going to work the way it should? How do you think that food's going to affect your focus, your concentration, your memory, your mood even? Remember, your mood is impacted massively by your brain. Now take the contrast. Someone who consumes, like I do, up to 16 ingredient smoothies, antioxidant rich, immune system boosting smoothies, up to 16 ingredients I have in them. Now, how do you think my brain's going to work for consuming things like kale and spinach and cucumber and celery and wheatgrass and maca and spirulina and flaxseed and chia seeds and linseeds and apples and pineapple and bananas and celery and all this kind of stuff? What do you think that's going to do to my brain? Just as much as if I'm eating a whole food, plant-based diet. Give my body what it needs. Give my body whole food, proper food nature has provided, food that is full of energy because it's basically grown through sunlight, photosynthesis. The sun's there, the plants grow, we eat the plants. How do you think that your brain's going to work versus taking what is in the earth, taking what is on the trees, taking whatever is available to us in nature, and then highly processing it and turning it into something that has no replica to anything it was initially? The more man does to food, the worse it is for you. And that's a rule of thumb to have with everything you put in your mouth. Every time you make a decision on what to buy in the supermarket, or every time you decide where you're going to eat, think to yourself, what has man done to this? That's why I'm always encouraging people to grow their own food, even grow their own vegetables, have a little vegetable patch. I think over the coming decade, it will hopefully become something very big, which is like turning back the clock to 50, 60 years ago and beyond when this was normal. Now it's not normal. It's all about supermarket stuff, and everything's created for profit. It's created fast. It's created with so much chemicals and pesticides that are making you so toxic and are causing so much illness and disease and ailments and pains, and just again not operating optimally. We need to start turning the clock on this. We have to start turning the dial. We have to start taking again personal responsibility and doing what we can and facing up to the fact it is a choice. We don't have to do anything. It is a choice. So think about it, 20% of calories you consume feed your brain. So again, you got the McDonald's addict, processed food addict, the Coca-Cola addict versus somebody who consumes massive smoothies, whole food, food made from scratch, food grown in their own garden. Now, how do you think their brain's going to work? Massive, eh? Going to make a huge difference. So that's the hydrating of your brain. That's the feeding of your brain. Now, they are two massive things. They will change your life forever if you get a grip on those things. Sleep is also super important because that's when your body gets to recharge, regenerate, and rejuvenate. So again, getting adequate sleep is super important. But deep sleep means that you will not have been on any kind of electrical, phones, devices, TVs, all that kind of stuff before bed. Because if you are on them before sleep, you might feel asleep, you might fall asleep, but your mind is still racing because of the impact of radiation. And it continues to race all the time you're asleep, inverted commas. So your sleep quality is massive. I will do an episode specifically on sleep because there's a lot of detail to it. But the most important step to do is to turn off your goddamn phone. And do not have it charging beside your head, because the electromagnetic frequency, the radiation from the phone, the constant notifications, even if it's on silent, they're still, transmitting pulses of radiation. That's keeping your mind going, and you will not get deep sleep. You won't get REM sleep. You won't hit the deepest sleep. You will not get rejuvenated. You will feel tired the next day. Your brain will not be able to function. When you're tired, your brain cannot function. Simple as that. Think of the days you're really tired. Think of the days you wake up and you're super full of energy. Think of the days you eat healthy, the days you don't eat healthy. Think of the days you drink water. Think of the days you don't drink water. Quicker in the water too. If you want to drop a bit of MindBody or something into that, diluted stuff into it, a little drop for taste, that's cool. The main thing is getting the water in. Or a good one is to chop up some fruit, berries or whatever you like, orange, limes, lemons, put it into the water. Whatever gets it into you, the main thing is that you drink it. Okay? Perfection is just clean water, proper clean water. If you need to add a bit of a MindBody or something, no bother. Whatever gets it into you, okay? So that's the food, that's the water, that's the sleep. Another thing that's massive for your brain function and getting it to operate optimally is positive mind feed. We are bombarded with negative mind feed. And if you're listening to this in 2020, just think of the amount of negativity you've been exposed in 2020, both by people around you and the vast majority. It's always been the majority who have been quite negative in life and lived very negative lives, had negative vibes, bitch and moan and complain about stuff, never take responsibility. But 2020 has taken us to a whole different level. So we're under a lot of emotional strain, mental strain, stress. Every life has been impacted by this year. And the negativity is unbelievable, but it's fueled by the media, it's fueled by the government, and it's fueled by people living in fear who have literally lost all sense of logic and rationality and are behaving as so. And you need to limit your exposure to such people. You need to expose yourself to people who are positive, people who share your vision, people who champion towards your goals, people who you feel uplifted by when you're in their company. This is something that's really important. Be uplifted by them when you're in their company. And the positive mind feed is huge as well. Remember what you can control. You decide what goes into your mind. You decide what you listen to. You decide what you watch. You decide what you read. Every single day, watch, read, and listen to positive self-growth, positive educational type material. Limit or eliminate the negativity stuff and increase and really ramp up the positivity stuff. It will change your life forever. Something I did a long time ago, must be born to 20 years ago, I stopped watching TV. Now, that doesn't mean I never watch TV. I watch football, I watch various sports, I watch movies, comedies, stand-ups, things that I enjoy and that are enlightening and good for me. Now, that's not regularly, just certain part of the week that I allocate for like me time and fun and switch off time. But the best thing you can do is ditch the TV. It doesn't help in any way. The news does not help. The soaps do not help. Reality TV do not help. It's why the world is where it is right now. It's why minds are literally poisoned and toxic, and people cannot think for themselves. They cannot think straight. They cannot achieve what they want in life. Their life experience is not an enjoyable one. It is not the life that they want. but they don't even have the power within themselves to create the life they want because of how their brain is thinking. So to empower your brain, to get it thinking right, to get your brain thinking the way you need it to, in order for you to achieve success and happiness. And that's the most important word, happiness. You need to change your habits. You need to change what you're putting in. So different what you're putting into your mouth in terms of liquid and food, what you're putting into your brain through your ears and through your eyes is super, super important. Okay. So we've got water, getting your brain more hydrated. We've got food, feeding your body the nutrients it needs to operate optimally. We've got sleep, allow your brain to rejuvenate and regenerate itself and get a rest from going nonstop all day. And we've got your mind feed, eliminate toxicity and negativity. Limit your exposure to certain people who maybe you can't eliminate. Limit your exposure to certain material maybe you can't fully eliminate, but dramatically increase your exposure to positivity, positive people, education, inspiration. Read, watch, and listen to stuff that helps you and serves you and pushes you on and raises your adrenaline and raises your, elevates your emotional state and your vibration and makes you feel better. These are things you need to look at. There's just 4 things, and you can change them right now. You can change those 4 things today. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. It doesn't have to be next month. This is why I said to you at the start. You can dramatically change your life forever, which is a few little positive steps. But you have to do it. No one else can do it. You have to do it. So you ready to? Remember, your mind is a control tower. Your brain, that's what needs to be working, and it controls literally everything. So it's up to you. Take personal responsibility. It is a choice and no excuses. I've yet to hear one valid excuse for anything in 25 years working as a high performance consultant. And I've worked with thousands and thousands of people all over the world. And I've come across and met and engaged with hundreds of thousands of people. And I've yet to hear one valid excuse. There is none. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Mind Body Health Podcast. I'd love to get your feedback. Please give us a review. Your reviews are so priceless in terms of us getting more exposure for the material you're trying to put out there. Again, I live my life aiming to have a positive impact on people's lives as best I can. It's what I aim to every single day. Any guests I'll have on the podcast, I have them on because they live the same kind of mission. Regarding guests, if there's anyone particular you'd like to see on the podcast, that you'd like to see me interview, because I will have some interviews coming up soon, let me know. Shoot me a message. Let me know who you'd like to see on, and I'll go and make it happen. And just share this out there. Tell other people about it. We all need positive mind feed every single day. It's what I'm trying to help you guys with. We need to learn the truth, get educated. I'm here to clear the confusion. At a time when there's never been so much information, people are so confused because there's too much information and most of it is absolute garbage. So what's important is that I clear that confusion for you. And that's what I'm here for. So this is what the Mind Body Health podcast is all based on, as well as the fact that when you regain control of mind, body, and health, it has a positive impact in every other area. And I want you to live the life you want. You can live the life you want. You can have the life experience you want. You can have a fun, vibrant, fulfilling, and successful life, and happy life, most importantly, if you take certain action. Okay? So I hope that was helpful for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. Have an awesome day. Keep taking action. Share this podcast out there far and wide, and look forward to speaking to you on the next episode.